Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about mappings in Solidity. So our content is what are mappings in Solidity, adding, retrieving, updating, deleting operations in mappings, using struct types with mappings, then we'll see nested mappings. So what are mappings in Solidity? Mappings in Solidity are used to store key value pairs where the key can be any built-in data type and the value can be any type. So they act like hash tables or dictionaries in other programming languages, but reference types are not allowed as keys in mappings. For example, strings. You cannot use a string as a key of a map. So for example, in Python, we have dictionaries. In Java, we have hash maps. So it's just similar to those data types. So here is an example. We have a key type and we have a value type. Then we have the name of the mapping. So adding, retrieving, updating, and deleting operations. So mappings can have different types of operations like in other programming languages. So we can see them. For example, if you want to add something to balances mapping, you need to use this syntax. You're basically putting your key value here in the square brackets, then equals, and you need to specify your value as well. And when it comes to retrieving, when you want to get a value from a map, you need to do something like this. For example, you int my balance, and there's a balances mapping here, and you want to set this key's value to this my balance. And when it comes to updating it, it's just a very basic logic here. Balances message.sender, sender, and you can do anything you want. Since it's a uint, you can increment or decrement its value. So when you want to delete, you need to use this syntax. Basically, delete keyword, then balances.message.sender. Then this key value pair will be deleted from the mapping. So using struct type with mappings, I will talk about structs in another video. So let's see the usage here. Mappings are generally used with struct types to provide a better programming experience. With the addition of one or more parameters in the function declaration, modifiers with arguments are defined in the same way as standard modifiers. So I will also talk about modifiers in detail, so you don't need to worry about it for now. And here is an example. For example, we have struct person. It's basically a data type where you can use different data types in. We have string name and uint age. So in this mapping, we are basically using address as a key and person data type as a value, and we can just drag this address to that person, and the name of the mapping is people here. So nested mapping, so let us see this as well. You don't need to use it everywhere, but there can be situations where you need to use nested mappings. So a nested mapping is a mapping where the value is another mapping. This allows for a multi-dimensional mapping where each key maps to a set of keys and values. So for example, here we have let us start with this value. So we have a mapping as a value, and the key of this value is an address. Since we are using this mapping as a value, we call it a nested mapping. It's basically the same logic. We have a key, we have a value, but since the value is a mapping, we call it a nested mapping. All right, and here is a access modifier and the name of the mapping. So we can write some functions for it. For example, if you want to set something to balance, you can use something like that. Here, balances account timestamp. So let us understand this. Account is an address, and here we are basically getting to this map. And this in this map, we have a uint, and it's gonna be a timestamp here. Then we just set it to the amount, and here is the value of that amount. And we can also have a get balance function here to get the value of them. For example, balances account timestamp, meaning that we are basically going this key's value, and in this value we have another mapping, and in this mapping we are going to timestamp, which is which is specified by this uint, and we want to get this value. Okay. So nested mappings can be useful for storing complex data structures that require multiple keys to access. However, they can also consume a large amount of storage and are not iterable. So it's important to use them efficiently and with care. So let us see a basic code on the editor and deploy it and understand the logic in a better way. For example, here we have a mapping, and it just has the key of address and a value of string, and its name is names. So in this regard, when we want to set something, it's basically going to set the message.sender, which is the sender of this account, to the name that we put as a parameter. So let us deploy it. Okay, and if I want to set something, okay, I have my key as a message.sender, and I need to set something here. So for example, let's say the owner of this account, but who is the owner of this account? So let's first call the function here. Okay, then I want to know the owner of this account, and here is our account, right? Here is the our account address. So if I put it here, so let us first call the getName function to see this. Okay, the owner of this account. Now I want to get the same result from names mapping. So to be able to do that, I can copy and paste this address here. And in this mapping, I have this address key, and as the value of that key, I have the owner of this account string, right? So when I call this key, I need to get the value of the owner of this account. So let's call it. Okay, I'm getting the result. So that's gonna do it for this video. We'll see mappings in a lot of places to make our projects look better, to make them efficient. So it's important to use them when they are needed. So that's gonna do it for this video. I will see you in the next one.